Hi, I'm Caroline Wright. I'm a soup lady and a cookbook author, and I'm here at the West Seattle Farmers Market making my nearly retro cabbage soup for my Soup Club cookbook. Today, I'm going to shop for it at the market on this episode of Shop Like a Chef.
So you're subbing in a leek instead of an onion?
Yeah. Just because it's similar, it's in the allium family, and it's here, and it's prettier than the grocery store backup version I brought. I'll go with 2, since I'm subbing in. Thank you. And then a cabbage. These are beautiful. The recipe calls for a green, but I could use a red. Beautiful. So when you're buying a cabbage, you want to buy something that's like really, really heavy. And this guy, like, if I threw this at someone, it would really hurt. and really, really tight leaves.
You survived glioblastoma, and you credit some of your recovery to the soups people brought you when you were too sick to cook. And what role do you think community and relationships play in cooking?
That's an awesome question. When I was sick, it was really hard for me to see people because on the inside, I didn't really feel like I knew my situation. I knew what people saw when they saw me. I was this like mother of 2 kids and facing a really harrowing diagnosis. But when people would see, I'm like a person who cooks for people. I make them cookies, I make them happy. And when people would look at me and start crying, you know, like that was what my life was like. So it was really hard for me to see people for a while because mostly also people, when you first get sick, they tell you stories of like the people that they know who got sick, and not that isn't lovely and they're trying to connect. It's more like I was dealing with my own story, and that was already kind of overwhelming, and so seeing other people was hard. So soup, once I made the call for soup, it was a way that people could like channel all of their like love and wishes to me into one place that actually like served to function to like restore and like healing vibes, you know. It was just like actual magic. Like we put a cooler out front of our house. I had just moved to Seattle. I had no idea who these people were who were like reading my blog. And I got soup 3 times a day for 3 months until I was well enough to cook again.
You focused on an anti-inflammatory diet post-recovery, and how has that impacted how you see the traditional American diet?
I started eating anti-inflammatory after I was diagnosed with my brain cancer, and I don't know if it affected my timeline. I mean, it is weird. I'm almost 8 years out from a diagnosis of a year, a prognosis of a year, and it's just unheard of. But I can say that it really affected how I felt.
That's how I felt.
Or like the experience of my cancer. I don't know if it actually affected like my cancer, the cell division of my cancer or anything like that, you know? So I don't eat like sugar, I don't eat gluten, and so I can like appreciate an apple, you know, in a way that I wouldn't have before. Like just seeing things that are so flavorful and decadent that just felt completely like normal to me, because I do feel like as Americans, I do feel like we eat a lot of things that are should be sort of revered for more of like a special occasion or something. We just eat them all the time.
America!
How did you learn to be confident in the kitchen?
I've been cooking for a long time. I also did happen to go to culinary school, and I was fortunate enough to study in France, and have spent a lot of time in kitchens, and I just think like the process of cooking, like I have written and I've developed and tested and cooked recipes. I like love them so much. I've been doing that for a really long time, and I think just even the process of just like cooking recipes for many years just like teaches you a lot of things every time you cook, because no recipe is ever the same every time you cook it, so you learn something new every single time. Thank you so much for joining me and watching me cook and like talk to people at the market. It's my favorite thing to do. And you can find me at Slurp Soup Club on Instagram for more like fun, weird soup lady content. And my website, slurpsoupclub.com. And I have a cooking show actually where you can find this recipe. I call it Soup Club at Home, but it's on YouTube. You just go to my channel, Caroline Wright, and I'll see you there. Thanks for following along.
Sure, I'll take one.
Oh my gosh, I enjoy you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Here, did you grab a card?
Oh.
Follow me on Instagram and check out my soup service. I love it.
She's a rock star today.
Of course.
And you actually like sell this and bring it to people?
Yeah,
Here is, but I don't know how to say this word.